Oh, you just pressed play on This Week with Drunk Astrology. My name is Graham Breitenstein. I'm your astrologer and the creator of Drunk Astrology. If you're looking for someone to make astrology make sense to you and for you, well, my friend, you have come to the right place. Here on this podcast, we discuss the weekly cosmic weather. And when we break it down, we break it down. I believe that astrology can be used as a tool to inform your daily decisions and enhance your day-to-day life. So if you're ready to have a hell of a lot of fun with astrology, make some strategic decisions, and to just keep it real, well, that journey starts right now. Now's your moment, floating in a blue lagoon. Boy, you better do it soon, no time will be better. She don't say a word and she won't say a word until you kiss the girl. Sing with me now. Sha-la-la-la-la-la, don't be scared, you got the mood prepared. Go on and kiss the girl. Sha-la-la-la-la-la, don't stop now, don't try to hide it. How you wanna kiss the girl? Sha-la-la-la-la-la, float along and listen to the song. The song say, kiss the girl. Wow, wow. Sha-la-la-la-la-la, music play. Do what the music say. You gotta kiss the girl. You've got to kiss the girl. Why don't you kiss the girl? You gotta kiss the girl. Go on and kiss the girl. Happy Sunday, Astro folks. Can you tell I've seen The Little Mermaid twice since it came out? No? Well, perhaps I need to sing another Little Mermaid song. Happy Sunday. This is the podcast for the week of May 29th through June 4th, 2023. I am happy to be here. I am fueled up on coffee. The first of the day, I'm imagining where I'm going to go off and get a bougie coffee out into the world. But how are you doing? How are you feeling? We had quite a weekend with aspects that weren't necessarily all that awesome. Saturday featured the Virgo quarter moon, which can feel like an overwhelming amount of things to do. You can feel like, I don't want to do any of this. You can feel like there's so much on my plate, I don't know where to begin. I know for me, I listened to my own hacks last week, and I was getting things done all throughout the week in anticipation of that Virgo quarter moon. And then what happened? I ended up having to work as I predicted. Like, okay, it's just things are going to show up, and they did. And then by the time I got through what I felt was absolutely necessary, everything else that was on my plate that I said I want to get done because I don't want to work anymore over the weekend, my whole brain shut down. My brain was like, we're not doing this, so you're gonna have to do something else. And so I ended up just binging old episodes of Parks and Rec, which I've been doing for like the last month and a half. So I finished the whole series, and then I started on 30 Rock again because I love that show. So that's how the Virgo quarter moon showed up for yours truly. I had done so much already that everything else that was on my to-do list, my brain was like, shut down. We're not doing this, so why don't you just laugh to some Tina Fey? And that I did. And then today, Sunday, we do have a Sun-Saturn square. Now, some of you reached out to me and said, I think the Sun-Saturn is showing up a little early because on Friday you had some persnickety little situations with work. Someone wrote and said that their boss was on one. And I was like, I get the feeling that this is just in anticipation of that Sun-Saturn square. And too, it's funny. When we have holiday weekends, if any of you observe and get the day off for Memorial Day, it's always interesting to see how different companies, excuse me, the coffee is making me burp. And I didn't want you to hear that. But how different companies respond to when there's a day off, because some of them I feel like are like, hip hip hooray, we don't have a day off, so let's just do what we got to do today, and then I'll see you Tuesday. And then others, it sounds like they pile on the work even more so, doubly so, because they say, oh, if you're going to have Monday off, then on Friday, you're going to do Friday and Monday workloads. And they have no problem doing it. So I've gathered that some of you are having or did have that experience on Friday. And hopefully no one has any kind of like work stuff today, Sunday the 28th. But the Sun-Saturn square can also show up as friction on the home front, within a VIP relationship, within a parent, grandparent type of vibe, where you get like a little bit of a slam dunk or a heavy fist or, like, hey, that's not what you're supposed to do. This like strong sense of duty that something has to be done. Because that's what your job is. That's what you have to do. So hopefully this podcast finds you in good spirits, and that if there was any kind of persnickety type of vibes going on, that they have already dissipated. Remember, transits are transitory, so they're here and then they go on. You move on. The cosmos moves on to better connections and better aspects, better angles, different signs, new signs. This week we actually have Venus finishing up her time in Cancer. So Venus in Cancer, our friendships and our relationships, our willingness and ability to connect with each other has been emotionally driven and has been a little volatile, because anytime a planet is in Cancer, it's answering to the moon, which changes signs every 2.5 days. So the flavor of that planet, i.e. here, Venus, our love nature. So how we connect with our friends, how we connect with our family, how we connect at work, just how we connect in general, has been a little hot and cold and a little lukewarm there in between. So now this is the last week with Venus in this volatile, more sensitive zone. Also, I think some of you I've been seeing as I scroll through my feed have been doing some like home projects. So that's been great. Venus in Cancer. Venus is about aesthetics and beauty, and Cancer is the home. So I've been seeing some really cool things from a few of you that I follow. And then just seeing more, I feel like I've been seeing a lot of interior design, whether they're ads or whether they're accounts I follow, just been seeing like, oh, spring, summer, reno inspo and all of that kind of thing. And I'm like, oh, this is so Venus and Cancer. It's crazy. So if that's been you too, or if you've been wanting to do that, this week is a great time to do it. With Venus finishing up her time in Cancer. Because next week, she will join the Leo party where Mars is right now. And like I said, when Mars first shifted, Mars in Leo is just trying to make summer plans. Have fun in the sun, let his hair down, get dolled up. Just have a good time. Mars in Leo is the party. So I hope that you are feeling that or tapping into that, because it's available to you. Now, you might be a little inundated, but fun is available to you in the cosmos. And some of you might be like, well, I can have fun whenever. Yes, you can. But when you've got planets in Leo, that's like now, and this is coming from someone who has his Venus in Leo in his natal chart. So, you come to this podcast, you come to Drunk Astrology to have a good time, to have some fun. So that's what's in my kind of energy is what's in the sky right now. So if you're just feeling a little like locked in, a little in silo, or just kind of like a little removed, what's available to you is like, if you just say the word. Mars and Leo's like, say the word and we are there. I will pour a shot, we will throw it back, and we will go have the best day ever. That is around, so please use it. What else do I want to bring up to you as far as the overall vibe here? Now, the first half of the week is more quiet. I will say the moon is pretty active, especially on Memorial Day. But then we have some quieter days. Now, I will say the aspects with the moon this week, she's got a lot of adjusting aspects. So I didn't count them up, but let me just do a quick little countdown here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You hear all this? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there are 20 adjusting aspects with the moon this week, and that's peppered throughout every single day. Okay, so although they're like, especially Tuesday and Wednesday, they are more quiet days. There's no major planetary action on that day. There isn't on Monday either, but that moon is making a lot of aspects, and more of them than not are stressful, friction, active, and adjusting, right? So we have some quincunxes. We actually have a lot of quincunxes this week. That is 150-degree angles between the moon and a planet. Which, quincunxes are just like, they're just annoying. They're really annoying. You have to just like, they're eye roll aspects, okay? I really like that. I'm going to write this down. Eye roll aspects, because nobody likes a quincunx, honestly. So I will say that this is a week where you're gonna have to be flexible. You're gonna have to bend a little. Don't break this week, but you're gonna be a little. There's gonna be challenges this week, and now let me just say this: the second half of the week. Yes, the moon is stressed, so just kind of like our overall vibe is just like, okay, got a lot to do. There's a lot going on. This is some busy type of energy. But I will say that there are some, like Thursday, June 1st, the 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th. Each day has a major aspect, and Friday in particular is a chef's kiss kind of planetary connection, because we have Venus with Neptune. Thursday has Mars and Saturn in one of those annoying quincunxes, so, just be prepared for, responsibility to kind of lead the way there, and you have to just, like, someone's going to come in and just kind of say, like, change the plan, or make you do something that you might not want to do. My note to myself was, Dad called, he says get real. Then we have a full moon in the sign of Sagittarius on Saturday, and then we have Mercury connecting with Uranus. So that's active AF. Uranus is about change and unexpected news, surprises, changes, curveballs. And the full moon, of course, illuminates, it activates, it culminates a story from back in November 23rd of last year through December 7th of last year. So that 2-week period of time when the Sagittarius new moon took place. Now we have the full moon coming and bringing those stories, those conversations, those ideas, those wishes, those manifestations, bringing them full circle to culminate and harvest now. So that's a turning point. And that's the overall vibe. So we know that if we have a full moon week and it's over the weekend, that's when we're going to feel the busiest. That's when things are going to feel more activated. So just, again, this weekend we had one with, the Virgo quarter moon kind of being annoying and overwhelming, and then the Sun-Saturn square, which is like, oh my gosh, how do we move forward from here? Setting a boundary, saying a no, receiving a no. Now next weekend on the 3rd with that Sagittarius full moon, we've got it. We're full steam ahead now. Full moons are yang energy, so it's like go mode, and Sagittarius is your big picture. So we'll talk about that a little more in depth. Now let's just get into the news board. As I announced last week, and I get to emphasize now, there are 2 major events with Drunk Astrology taking place in the very near future. As near as this Friday, June 2nd, I'm going to be at Pop Sugar's Playground event at the Row in downtown LA. It is an all-day event. I believe attendees start checking in at 9:30 in the morning, and then the day starts at 10 with a wake-up call from Peloton's Cody Rigsby. So if you are a Peloton user or you just follow Cody on Instagram, he blew up over the pandemic. His classes on Peloton. He is so much fun, but there's a wake-up call with him. There is, oh my gosh, so the whole event is about designing your perfect day off. So there are fitness activations, there are spa treatments, so you can get facials, you can get manicures, you can get an IV drip with vitamin B12, you can get, I believe there's a masseuse, there's like a few like massage appointments. There's all these like different activations. There's a Revlon beauty counter. Lush is going to be there where you can like build your own bath bomb. All of these other types of businesses, and yours truly is there as an all-day activation. I'm going to be giving oracle card readings to everyone who wants one. All you got to do is come up to my area. They've designed it beautifully, and I'll be there with all the fun, all the cards, all the cosmic messages. And the night ends, or the day ends, with a performance by Chloe Bailey, who, if that name doesn't ring a bell, her sister Hallie is Ariel in The Little Mermaid. So Chloe's going to be performing. She's going to be having a conversation too at the end of the day. It's going to be awesome. This is it's just such a dope event. I have, Herman's coming. I've got my friend Nadia coming. So it's just going to be, you get to design your perfect day. And I mean, what's better than that? So that's this Friday. I will put a link in the show notes to take you to the event info and for where you can buy a pass. But then the second event is later on in June, Sunday, June 25th, the Drunk Astrology Pool Party hosted at the Line Hotel is taking place. If you are a SoCal local, you have to come. You just have to. I have so many different activations happening at this party. I have a custom cocktail menu. I have custom mocktails. I have, let's see. I don't want to give away too much. I'm trying to think of what. Oh, there's going to be a tarot reader there. I've got 2 DJs. I've got a videographer. I've got photographers. Of course, I'm going to be there all day, so we get to hang out. And then there's just a lot of other fun stuff that I don't want to give away. But if you aren't local and you're getting a serious case of FOMO right now, the Line Hotel has given me a friends and family discount link. So if you are interested in coming in, there's already 3 clients from out of state that are flying in. They're going to be staying at the Line. They use the discount link. So I can hook you up. So just send me a message and I'll give you all the details. I also have created a separate email list specific for the pool party and the events happening around it. There's going to be a meet and greet on Saturday the 24th from 5 to 7. There's going to be a celebratory brunch on the 26th, that Monday. where we can all just like be together, eat together, have fun together, and just do all the things. It's a whole thing. So those of you that have been on my case about a drunk astrology retreat, this is step one towards that being like an actual like hardcore reality. Okay? Until we can like get like some big bougie beach house or something where, there's like 8 bedrooms and we all get a room, and then, we get to be on the beach, and, we get a private bartender and things. I'm just kind of just imagining what a drunk astrology retreat would look like. And it's something along those lines. Okay, and then last little news board item, I want to welcome a new daily doser to the daily podcast, A Daily Dose of Stars. Melissa Garner, welcome. I was so happy right before I pressed record on this podcast. I saw the email come through that there was a new daily doser, and I got very excited. So I want to welcome you. You are in good hands, good company. The Daily Dose is where all the like daily cosmic things come to life, and you get, real customized readings for each day. And, what to do, what not to do, what to expect, what not to expect, and when fate and destiny are on your side. And, we have a lot of those moments in recent times. So I know some of you are out there shaking some hands and getting things done, including one of my best friends. So, information in the Daily Dose of Stars is changing people's lives. Okay, I'm not going to sing anymore. Promise. That's it for the news board items. Melissa, welcome. So happy to have you as part of the Daily Dose family. And I'll see you each and every day now. You'll have me in your ear every single day. So there's nothing better than that, is there? No. Especially when I sing to you. Okay, let's talk about the moons, shall we? So we start the week off on Monday with the moon in Virgo, but switching into Libra early morning. Now, remember, the moon makes a lot of annoying aspects this week. So just be flexible. Just kind of like, just be willing to go with the flow this week. Not that you can't have a human moment, not that you shouldn't have a human moment and be like, this is annoying, I'm frustrated, I am over it, I'm livid, whatever. Just kind of just know that it's transitory. It's temporary. It is not something that you need to hold on to. This is the last week of Mercury being in his retrograde shadow. He will clear his shadow on Thursday the 1st. So, this is the last little bit of what I call the cosmic cleanup phase. Okay, so you're just getting the last little tidbits of knowledge and things that you need before you take your next steps. Okay, then we're out of retro shade for the next couple months. Okay, so moon is in Libra Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and until it switches into Scorpio in the afternoon. Then Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, Friday till early evening, moon's in Scorpio, then switches at night into Sagittarius, where it is Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday until late evening. And then it won't switch into Capricorn until the top of next week. So we have Libra, which is all about connections, relationships, and partnerships. It's also aesthetics. So, if you're thinking about getting your hair cut or colored or something like that, the moon in Libra is a great time to do that. Now, this week in particular, with some of the aspects, it might not be the best time to get your hair cut or do like major changes to your vibe, because you might not end up liking it. Then when the moon shifts into Scorpio on Wednesday, where it is Wednesday, Thursday, most of Friday, now it's about connecting on a deeper level. It's also metaphysics, spirituality, kind of like cave mentality. So if you feel like a cave person, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, where you're just like, I'm just going to stay in my own little space here, and I'm just going to kind of duck and dodge. That's that Scorpio moon. And if you have a natal Scorpio moon, you might be lit up even more. Just kind of like, yeah, just really activates oh my gosh, I think I have too much caffeine going through my veins. But your natal moon being hit by the transit moon can activate you in a big way and light you up, and can amplify like, oh yeah, moon's in Scorpio, well, I am definitely inside this cave. Or it can be like, I'm coming out. Hey, I want the world to know. Okay, so don't be surprised. And also too, because the moon is in Scorpio for the whole event on Friday, I just know the readings are going to be chef's kiss, because Scorpio energy has us all tapped in on a deeper level. And that right there is worth celebration. So I'm going to be giving some great readings on Friday, so I certainly hope to see you there. Information in the show notes. And then the moon in Sagittarius for the rest of the weekend, including that full moon. It's about adventure. It's about fun. It's about spontaneity. So, even if you find yourself really tired, at full moon, sometimes, we can just feel like, it's the activation is happening so much on an internal level that we find ourselves, we're running exhausted. I will challenge you to like take a nap and then get out and just have fun. Just have fun. I mean, maybe having fun is just calling like one or two people over and, just making custom little cocktails for yourself, or, whatever fun means to you over the weekend. But I will challenge you to do something a little outside the box, outside of your norm, to just tap into what's available to you. And that's what I really want to do with this podcast in general, is tell you what energy is available to you. Now, let's talk about these planetary aspects. We already stated that Mercury clears his shadow on Thursday, June 1st, but that is also when Mars has his quincunx to Saturn at 12:31 p.m. Mars is in Leo, Saturn is in Pisces. Mars in Leo wants what it wants when it wants it. Remember, it is trying to have fun. It's trying to just be like, bam, I want to be out. I want to be proud. I want to be loud. I want to be bold. I want to be adventurous. That's what I want to do. And Saturn in Pisces is like, yeah, but you have to do X, Y, Z, A, B, C, and 1, 2, 3. So what do you want to do about that? And Saturn doesn't really ask the question. It just tells you, get real. So, just be ready to deal with potentially a lot of work on your plate. This might be a boss figure. This might be an authority figure stepping in, kind of messing up the fun. Okay, so just don't be prepared. And actually, I am starting to get an idea of how that's going to show up for me. Oh, good Lord Almighty. That'll be interesting. I'll report on that later. Yeah, that could be someone coming in and really just kind of making things more oh, right, it's work. Then the next day, we have a dream scenario, which is already adding to that Scorpio moon. This is dream vibe. We have Venus in Cancer trining Neptune in Pisces. So now we're looking at that lovely, collaborative, juicy 120-degree angle between the love goddess herself and Neptune, the god of dreams and vision, and just that expansive mind. Is it's very aerial, part of your world. So now Cancer and Pisces working together, Venus, this for me, first and foremost, this is secure the bag. Okay, a dream scenario when it comes to money, when it comes to your desire, when it comes to relationships. This is connections, out of this world connection. So you see why it's so great that this Pop Sugar event is taking place on Friday. it. This is it. So Friday, if you're not coming to the event, totally fine, because I know a lot of you don't live in LA. But if you are looking for a date night, if you're looking to, kind of mix and mingle, Friday is a day where you could meet someone with potential. Okay? And if it's not long-term potential, maybe it's just a little short-term fun betwixt the sheets. Wink, wink. Okay, so that's just something I want you to just keep in mind. So if you are listening to this and you're like, oh, I think my husband and I, or oh, I think my wife and I could, make a date. Make a date on Friday, please, because that right there is just chef's kiss type of energy. If you are on the work front, trying to think about like when you should plan a meeting, when you should, get everyone together around a table or on a Zoom, on a Teams call. Friday is the day to do it. Okay, you're going to deliver great news, receive great news, just Friday, just give that day 5 stars. And just kind of say, what's my dream scenario for myself this week and this weekend? I'm going to plan it on Friday. Saturday, Sagittarius full moon at 8:42 p.m. Pacific at 13 degrees and 18 minutes of Sag. So you're going to find your chart. You're going to look for any Sagittarius planets. You're going to look for Sagittarius house, the house that Sagittarius rules in your chart. And then you're going to look at any of your own planets that it's at or near 13 degrees. That full moon is activating it, okay? And I'll remind you, the new moon that this is pulling on was from November 23rd, 2022. And I want you to look from there to December 7th of last year. So here's the interesting thing. I'll just share my little deal. Under that new moon, I attended and set up shop at the LA3C. It was the inaugural LA3C Music Festival here in LA. And at that event, I met someone who introduced me and referred me to the pop sugar people. So here, the day before the full moon, an event I attended back then led to the event I am hosting, or not hosting, but the event that I'm attending as a vendor now. So you see that connection where you go oh my God, so that's a very obvious one for me. So you just have to go back to that time and kind of see where were you at mentally? What were you thinking about? Who were you talking to? What was on your mind? What was on your spirit? What did you manifest? What were your wishes? Because now here comes the turning point, the culmination point. So this is a big deal. For me in particular, this is a big deal. Now, the energy with Sag full moon is your big picture. It is fun. There is a sigh of relief written in here. But it's also life is as an adventure, right? And if you're feeling like my life certainly ain't an adventure right now, this is your opportunity to make it that way. I have such a strong sense of that's what I want to share with the world is a perspective shift on your situation and on events and things that happen. They're happening for you, not to you. How can you chart I'm using all these quotes from The Little Mermaid, but how can you go to uncharted waters and just explore? I want you to feel like the explorer of your life, in the driver's seat of your life, and you are the one saying oh, okay, that didn't work, so now let me chart a new course. Let me chart a new path, and not to let any fear or anxiety or a resistance to change get in the way of you living your very best life. Okay? This Sag moon has all of that written into it. Okay? And also, full moon part it's turning points, it's illumination, it's activation. You know, we all do run a little bit more sentimental. We can also be running a little bit more sharp-tongued under this full moon because Sages are known for their infamous one-line zingers. So, you know, kind of watch, you know, be mindful of that, you know, be mindful of your tongue under over the weekend under that full moon. Now, I have a new deck here that I received, and one of the 3 decks I received last week is a self-esteem. It's a self-esteem deck. So it's got, okay, there we go. So I'm shuffling because I want to read you a self-esteem message before we go. And the message is, the greatest gift I can give myself is unconditional love. Ain't that the truth? On the other side, I love myself exactly as I am. I no longer wait to be perfect in order to love myself. That's the kind of message I'm going to leave on. I hope you have a phenomenal week. I will see you throughout on Instagram and in your inbox. Have a great one. Talk to you soon. Bye. This is Graham Breitenstein, and you've been listening to This Week with Drunk Astrology. If you want to follow Drunk Astrology, head to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and hit that follow button. And if you want to learn how to put astrology in motion for you, head to drunkastro.com and get on the insider list. If you haven't already, subscribe, rate, and review this podcast on Apple, Spotify, and Google platforms. Tune in next week for yet another opportunity to work in sync with the stars. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon.